CFC TV, your favorite channel.
Hello viewers, welcome to our weekly program called The Dialogue, and I'm your host Elizabeth Achieng. So today we are going to talk about one of our sisters' testimony, and we would love to hear more from her. Before we start conversing with her, I would love to remind you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more dialogues that are coming up. If you have any comment or any question that you want to ask her, kindly be free to comment and we will make sure that we ask on your behalf. To our visitor, welcome.
Thank you.
Would you love to at least introduce yourself? Like, who are you and where are you coming from?
Yeah, I'm Pamela Tanui. I'm from Thika, Kiganjo.
Wow, so do you mean like you were born at Thika or in another county?
Yeah, I'm from another county. I'm born in Kitale, but currently I'm in Thika.
Wow, in Thika, like maybe what are you doing in Thika? And you are from the other side?
Yeah, I'm in Thika. I'm working and I'm staying.
Wow, that's good. So you are working?
Yeah.
And maybe if I may ask, how has life been?
Like in Thika?
Yeah, like generally, like how has life been?
Okay, I can't say it has been soft, but I can say it has been hard in some ways, ups and downs, but at last you can say so far so good.
Wow, that's good. So today I'd love to know more about you as a person, and maybe if I may focus in one sector before I go to another sector. I would love to know, like, where did you grow up?
Okay, I was born in Kitale, that is Trans Nzoia County. I grew up in Kitale. I've studied in Kitale till my high school, all my life, like my school life, all of it has been in Kitale. But after that, after schooling, that's when I moved out from Kitale to Thika.
Wow, you actually brought some questions in my mind. Like you said, all your school life has been in Kitale.
Yeah.
Like maybe where did you reach in studies?
Yeah, I reached Form 4. I did my Form 4 actually. That was 2015. Yeah.
So let me not go a deep little about 2015, but
yeah.
Anyway, that's good. That's great. And maybe if I may ask, like, do you have both parents right now, or?
Yeah, I have both parents, my dad and my mom. They are all in Kitale.
Have you stayed with them all this while?
Yes, I have stayed with my mom and my dad all my years because they are both in the same place.
Oh, that's good. I thought, like you may find sometimes that you are studying or you are staying at home, maybe with your dad alone, and maybe your mom is outside country.
No.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good to know. And maybe if I may ask, like, how was your school life, like being raised by both parents? Like, were they supportive, or maybe there are some challenges that maybe came up while studying? How was it?
Okay, my study life was a bit challenging because of 3 issues as a family. But I thank my mom because she was the most supportive parent I had. And I can say that she was the best mom and she's still the best.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think generally we can just shout out to all moms, like they're always supportive in every means.
Yeah.
And maybe if I may ask, like, how was in school life, particularly in school, like, did you have any challenges, like maybe studying, you personally as Pamela?
I personally studying was not that big challenging because I was so hardworking lady. And my challenge was maybe I can say about the fees because it was somehow tough.
Yes.
Because that, like, you can find yourself maybe the time maybe of exams, you are like to send home, go and bring this and this and this, maybe you lacked it. But and thank God because He made everything possible until where I reached.
I've heard you saying like maybe fees was a little bit a challenge.
Yeah.
Like, how did it affect you personally? Like, how did it affect you?
Yeah, it affected me because I know everyone, as you study, you have your own goals, you have your own dreams. That maybe after this session or after this level of schooling, I want to go ahead. But for me, I didn't get that chance actually because of the issues and that lack of fees. Yeah, cool. That affects my, like I can say, it affected my study life in a big portion actually. And I can say that it wasn't that bad because it teaches me a lot of lessons, because sometimes I do tell myself, like, if it wasn't that maybe hardship that I went through, maybe I wouldn't be the same lady I am right now.
That's amazing. And maybe if I may ask, does in any way lacking school fees like change your mind? Like, did it bring something like kind of depression, or maybe those frustrations that maybe you could not perform that much in your exams, or maybe you could, like, it will just bring some depression, like so many thoughts in your mind?
Yeah, actually it happened because I do remember when I was in Form 2 actually, I dropped out for one term.
Yeah.
That was to look for my skills, and on that period of me being at home, it raised a lot of issues, a lot of questions in my mind, until it reaches a point of I just wanted, like, let me get out of this world, you get. I tried to commit suicide, which I can say I don't regret it, because at that point I was so much depressed. I had no one to tell, I had no shoulder to lean on. But thank God, maybe some things did happen with a reason. Yeah.
And maybe if I may ask, like, during this time that maybe you are outside the school trying to look for fee, like, were your brothers and sisters still at school, or they were not at school? Or you don't have siblings?
I do have siblings actually. I'm from a family of 5 children. That is 2 brothers, 3 sisters. I'm the third born. Yeah, my brother was not in school, my sister was not in school, my sister was married. My brother was also, I don't know where he was, but I can say he wasn't at home. So I was the only one remained as a big sister, and my 2 siblings with my mom. My dad was somehow far. And on that point, I can say it was so hard for me and for my mom, because my dad was somehow far and it wasn't that easy to reach him. So all the burdens was up to my mom and me, and that's why it was somehow tough for me to go on.
So you said that your dad was far.
Yeah.
You couldn't reach him.
Exactly.
But I previously asked you if you are still like living with your mom and your dad during your school time.
Yeah.
And you said yes. So does it mean like you are trying to portray like you had both parents at that time, or?
The thing I was saying, like I had both parents at the same place, but the communication as from a daughter and a father wasn't that.
Or it wasn't that deep? You had that fear?
Not that fear, but it wasn't that good. We were not on a good terms with the dad, but he was there.
But you are still staying in the same room?
Not in the same room, but in the same place. Like in the same area.
Wow, so you are staying in the same area, both of your families, but in different houses.
Yeah,
that's what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's... I didn't capture that. Okay, so do you want to say like at this time that maybe you are trying to look for fees, and both your sister and your brother, the elder ones, the other one was married, but the other one was
some away.
Away.
Yeah.
But do you mean like maybe you couldn't seek support from your elder sister?
Actually, I can say that they were there, but I can say you can have some people around you, but being supportive is up to them. Because if they would love to support me that time, they could have done so. But they would, I can say they were not capable, or I don't know what they were thinking, I don't know.
But maybe, do you think like maybe to some extent it's because you are not that, like you didn't reach out to her to at least seek that help?
I can say they knew, because they knew where we come from. They knew that they had a sister. They knew that maybe we are struggling because of life. So I didn't have that much to tell. Yeah.
Oh, I think when I would be, maybe if one day it would have happened that I'm you, I would have sat down my sister and asked her like what really happened, you know.
You know, like she's your big sister, you know, you need to respect like that boundary.
But
you know, there's like those people like they say, if it's up to you, it's up to me. You get it? If it's up to me, it's up to you. So if you struggle today, then it's up to you. You get? For me, I've choose my life. You know, choose your life.
But you know, at some point you may find that maybe you are trying to conclude things that are not maybe in their minds, you know. Plus, at that time, I want to believe that maybe you are not in a place to go ask her, because you are not that free. You have that boundary that she's your elder sister. But right now, I believe you have a good rapport between the two of you.
Yeah, we are in a good terms. Even before we were in good terms, but I think about the supporting issue, it wasn't on their mind, or I don't know what they were thinking. So I can't explain that.
Oh wow! But I hope till now you haven't placed that in your mind.
No, I'm free and we are okay. Actually.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So to our viewers, allow us to at least sip some water and then we are coming back. Hello viewers, welcome again to our program, and just a reminder, kindly subscribe, share and comment. Back to you, our visitor, Pamela.
Yes.
You said that your sister wasn't in a place to help you at least continue with your education, that forced you to drop out of school like at Form 2 before you again continued. So my question comes in, like, how was the financial status of your sister at that time?
Actually, I can say that time my sister was married. Her husband was working with, I think, one of the newspapers, and it wasn't that bad. It was somehow average. Yeah.
And you said that your sister was married, yes,
Yeah.
but the husband was working.
Exactly.
Was your sister also working at that time?
Yeah, she was working as a saloonist that time, if I'm not wrong.
And maybe if you could maybe average at the point, at the life cycle that you are today, like maybe would you maybe evaluate that maybe she wasn't in a position to help you, or maybe like maybe it's, let's say the salary or maybe the payment was a bit low that she couldn't manage to assist at that time?
Okay, for now what I got is like, if you want to help someone, it doesn't matter how much you have, what you have. That I can say what you have doesn't limit you to help someone. It depends with your, like, are you ready to serve or are you ready to give out? You get? It's not about all that I have all these materials so that I can help anyone. I can have a little one, but it can help someone else. So I can say it was just a choice. Yeah.
It was just a choice.
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe your mom, was she also working somewhere or she wasn't working?
Okay, my mom, she's a businesswoman, but it wasn't that much. She was still struggling with ups and downs because she has a family to raise between me and my siblings. And I can say, you know all about the families. You have all in your pocket as a mom. So I can say it wasn't enough for her, but she still stood with me actually.
But you know, there's as a father and as a mom in a family, even if maybe you are not in good terms with both parents or maybe the kids, you know, a father must be responsible, like at least to take the kids to school. Maybe at that time, is it because you are not in a good relationship with your dad, so you couldn't approach him? Or maybe is it because you tried to approach him but he denied, like, to help? Like, how did it go?
Okay, I can say where the misunderstanding started with my dad. It was when my big sister dropped out from school. Actually, she was in Form 2, and my dad was somehow responsible. But when my sister dropped out, she got pregnant and she got married. That moment, my dad was somehow depressed, like frustrated, like, you see, having a hope in someone then suddenly failed you. It was somehow a big challenge to my dad, and I can say he was so easily to give up. Yeah.
So at that point, let's say, like, maybe your dad had hopes, but because of the disappointment,
Yeah.
he felt that maybe I can't educate the kids or I can't educate the ladies.
Actually, I can say, I'm the third born. My brother dropped out still at high school. That was on Form 1, and that time I was, I think, in primary, class 6 there or 5. And my sister also dropped out when she was in Form 2, and that time I was in class 7. So the time I was in high school, I reached high school, my dad was already gave up, like he wasn't interested to school the children, like to pay the fees. He was somehow depressed and disappointed in everyone.
And about your dad maybe being disappointed in maybe taking you to school, like let's maybe try to understand something here. Like, did your brother drop out of lack of school fees, or maybe he dropped out willingly, like he didn't want to learn anymore?
Okay, my brother dropped out because of, I can say, peer pressure. And apart from that, also I can say he wasn't that good in studies, and the thing was like he's just wasting himself. That is what he told himself. I'm wasting myself, so the best thing to do was to drop out.
Oh, so he wasn't a fast learner.
Exactly.
Oh, I understand. Wow. That is discouraging to some parents, but you know, like at that point, like at least he could have tried, but anyway, it's past our knowledge. And
exactly.
Yeah, so maybe if I may ask, like, did you go back to school after that one term, as you said?
Yeah, I worked that time. I was like a waiter in one of our hotel in town. I read some fees and I went back to school. That was in Form 2 Term 2. Yeah.
But you say that after dropping out you had to work so that you get back to school.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually you managed to get back to school.
Exactly.
At that year. Was it challenging, like, to capture like what others had learned and where they had reached, like covering the syllabus?
Actually, it was so challenging because I can't expect like just to go the same way I was. It was so hard for me to go back and read those that the people have already read. It was somehow difficult to me, but I managed it.
And maybe how did you bridge that gap, like the syllabus that maybe you had not covered and others were ahead of you? Like, how did you make so that you could understand what the teacher had taught?
Okay, me being at home, that was in Form 2. My sister was already past Form 2, so she had some books at home. And most of my time, like after working, I could just do some things with those books, read, just pass by. So the time when I went back to school, it was somehow easy for me to catch up.
And maybe, of course, even if you are reading for yourself, there's at some point you will need some clarification.
Exactly.
Like maybe who are you trying to at least reach so that he or she could help with some few questions that you had at that time?
Okay, back at home, I had some neighbors who were my teachers, and they were so good to me. Actually, most of them used to encourage me, "Pam, don't worry, all will be well." And I took that chance so that to bridge up the gap, like to clarify everything I want.
Oh, that's amazing. And so after you went back to school, you've studied, you've finished your Form 4, and now you are there, like you're waiting for your results. Like, what came into your mind?
After finishing Form 4, that was 2015, actually November, I worked the same hotel. That was 2015 December. I worked in the same hotel as a waiter, and after that in January I got a job at my sister's place as a teacher, a boom teacher. I worked there for 3 months. Yeah.
At your sister's place, like the elder?
My elder sister actually.
So at that time, but you said at that time she was working as a saloonist.
Yeah, but I worked at the same area where she used to stay, where she was staying. So I moved out from my parents' place. I went to her place.
So you went to stay with your sister at that
Yeah,
time,
exactly.
but you were working in the same
area.
area
Yeah,
where she was working at that time.
exactly. But I was working in a school.
Oh, so she was a saloonist, but you were working as a teacher in a school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And maybe did you have hopes that maybe you are going to join any college or any university after school?
Yes, I can say I had a dream of being a nurse. I wanted to pursue nursing, but every time I used to check my background, I used to say, no, let me work first so that I can raise some money, I can rebuild my family back, all those. And it reaches a time, some things got somehow difficult. It wasn't that I could reach like where I wanted to be.
And maybe do you still have those hopes of going back to college or campus?
I can say if I could get a chance, then I'll use it.
You'll go back to school?
Exactly.
Wow. And after, so let's say like when you started to teach in that school,
Yeah.
like was it your employment journey?
I can say that was my employment journey, because after that I got another job that is in Nanyuki. I worked in Nanyuki for 2 good years. Yeah. Then coming back to Thika. From Nanyuki to Ruiru, from Ruiru to Thika. That's my places that I have been working.
So you came back, you went to Nanyuki for work?
Yeah, exactly.
For 2 good years?
Exactly.
And then after you came from Nanyuki, you came to Ruiru.
Yeah.
So from Ruiru and then you came to Thika. And let me ask you, like these 2 siblings that are younger, like how did they manage like the school fees, right? Provided that you had at least finished your Form 4 studies, like were you the one who was paying the fees, or maybe your mom was paying the fees?
Actually, I can say my 2 siblings, like my sister and my brother, they are the reason why I am still, I can say why I'm still living, because they are my reason of living, but they are my hope. And I'm the one paying the school fees actually, and they are in I can say the academics, they are good. Yeah.
So in short, you are trying to say that you are the one who has been paying the fees like since you started working after Form 4.
Exactly.
Oh wow. And is it just paying the fees, or maybe catering everything, fees, buying the books, buying the uniforms, like food at home?
All I can say, they are my responsibility.
Wow.
Yeah.
And at this all time, like who is your dad?
My dad is there. He's fine, I can say, but can't say much about him.
So since you dropped out, you went back to school, you haven't talked to him, like after even Form 4, like didn't you ever try to reach him so that you can at least make him proud, like at least I'm one of your kids that have at least studied till Form 4?
Okay, I talked to him actually. There was a time he called me, but he had no that intention of saying come back, maybe you go to school. There was nothing like that.
But is he aware that you finished your Form 4 studies?
Yes, he's aware. Actually, he's so much aware.
How did he react to that news when you broke it to him?
I can say my dad, wherever he is, so proud of me. Yeah, because every time maybe I do hear from my friends at home, like, your dad says he has a daughter somewhere. Your dad always says he has a daughter somewhere. So I think he's so proud of me.
But maybe let's say like your dad was disappointed in schooling the kids, and here you reached to Form 4 level, like was it not a bridge, like for him to come back home, like to start being responsible to the younger kids?
I think it has never crossed his mind. Yeah.
Oh wow! So let's just say like it was his decision, or he also has plans.
Yeah, you know, he's a grown-up. He has his own plans, so we can't force things.
But you know, as a let's say as a daughter, like the way you are, of course, too, there's that father figure that you always wanted, the love, the relationship that you always wanted to have with your dad. Like, have you ever tried to at least maybe reach out to him, at least to talk to him, at least to get that bond back?
Yeah, I tried actually severally, but every time I tried, I got disappointment. So I gave up. I can say I gave up.
Like, you gave up. What
Yeah.
was the response from him?
Okay.
Was he pushing you away? Like, I don't want to hear from you.
He was not pushing me away. The thing is that I can tell him something and he agrees at the same time. But doing it was so difficult for him. So just get some disappointment.
And so you gave up.
Okay, I can say I gave up on that.
But for me, I would advise you not to give up.
Okay, what should I say?
I think there's room for you getting back things.
Okay, what I can say is that you can't help someone when he is not willing to be helped.
But this is not someone. This is your dad.
Yeah, it's my dad, but he's a big man. He's someone who has his own mind. So if he doesn't want to change his mind, who are you?
So you don't miss that relationship with your dad?
I can say I wish I could. I wish I could have that love from someone calling dad, but I've never get it. That's the thing I know. And I thank God for my mom because she gave us the love that we deserve, and she acted as a father to me and a mom. Yeah.
You know, the way you're talking is like you gave up like on reaching out to him or talking to him, and it's like there's nothing anyone can tell you so that to change your mind.
Yeah, okay, I can say I haven't fixed my mind, but the thing is that I gave him my room, that the time he'd be willing to say let's go this journey, then I can say I would comply. Yeah.
So let's say right now you are still working at Thika so that to support the sisters and at least know like what will do next.
Yeah, exactly. The things that I'm working so that I can support my sisters, and after that maybe I can know what next to me. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So just to our viewers, like, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. Ask any question that you have so that we will try to get to them back. Welcome back again, our viewers, to our second episode of this dialogue about Pamela's testimony. And I'd just love to ask you, Pamela, like, are you born again?
Yeah, I'm born again.
when were you born again? Like which year?
I can say that is from 2022. Yeah.
And at this 2022, like, were you like at Nanyuki, Ruiru, Thika?
No, 2022 I was in Thika. I was here I was in Thika.
So you had already shifted, like you were working where you are working like right now?
Yeah, I was working in Thika that time, but not the same place, but still in Thika.
Wow. So how was it? Like, did anyone approach you like on the way, at work, like where you stay in the same plot, and how was it?
Okay, no one approached me. Actually, it was my decision because of the life I was living, and I said it's enough. I just want to receive Christ and live the life of according to Christ. Yeah.
And at this point that you have decided like you want to get born again, and you said like no one approached you, like did you know like there was Christ Jesus at that time, but you hadn't just decided to make that decision, or you just had somewhere and then when it reached at that time you decided that no, at this point I'm going to receive Christ in me?
I can say back at home I used to go to church, but I was not born again. I was just a church goer, I can say. So I knew that there is God, there is Christ, there is Jesus. But me receiving him, it was upon me myself. But it took me time actually. Yeah.
And you are trying to say like you are going to church
exactly
back then, but at this point you decided to receive Christ in you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if there's someone outside there who is watching and maybe he or she is also going to church regularly every now and then, what would you love to tell them, like being born again and going to church? What's that correlation?
I can say you can be going to church Monday to Monday, but you are not born again. Being born again is when that your life is hidden in Christ. Like you have received Christ and you do everything according to Christ's will. But going to church doesn't mean that you are born again. Yeah.
So what does it take, like what is it done so that you can say like now I'm born again, I've received Christ?
Okay, the time you receive Christ, actually your life changed. You no longer be the same person you used to be. I can say maybe I was going to church, but I was still living according to my flesh, to the desire of my flesh. But the time you receive Christ, as we knew Christ is spirit, so your life actually automatically changed and you do everything according to the Spirit of God. Yeah, like the Spirit of God will be the one guiding your footstep, guiding your life. Everything you'll be doing, it will be just according to God and to Christ's will. Yeah.
And how was it? Was it maybe a challenge at the time that you are getting born again at that time, and maybe for so long you've been living according to the world? Like, was it a challenge to you maybe generally, or maybe at the beginning, but after a few days, like everything just was okay?
I can say because it was my decision and my desire to be born again, it wasn't that challenging to me, because the exact time I received Christ, my mind and my heart was full of I just wanted to desire to know Christ better. So it wasn't just a challenging thing to me. Yeah.
Maybe was that difficult moment or that challenge that maybe broke you down so much that you just decided like, no, you know what, at this time it's all about me receiving Christ?
What should I say? Like, money is root of all evil, and There was a time I used like to get money, and having money got friends, and I never like being that like I never got that guts or courage to choose the friends I wanted. So me being surrounded with friends who are not born again, we used to do a lot of things. You get going to club, having parties, like drinking, every worldly thing. But it reaches a point that I was just alone, and I do remember actually I was just from a party, and like I was seeing myself dying because of a lot of drinks and all that. And the next morning I said, not myself, I just don't want the same life I was living. So I wanted to change my life. Like I wanted to be a better version of myself. I wanted to be me who is really me. And that's the time I said, let me receive this Christ and let me see my life changing. Yeah.
So at this party that you had gone, was it a friend's party or just a random party, maybe in a club or in someone's house?
I can say it was a random party. Like anywhere I was welcomed, that's where I used to go. We used to go with friends. Even if it's a club, a home party, like birthday parties. Sometimes we used to even to travel from Thika maybe to Naivasha just for parties, from Thika to Nanyuki just for parties, to enjoy ourselves. That we never knew the meaning of having Christ in us.
And at this time, like maybe you are traveling from Thika to either Nanyuki, like was it on weekends or was it on weekdays that it maybe affected you working? Like normally you missed some days like going to work?
I can say mostly, even if it was a weekday, I used to lie to our bosses, like maybe we are sick or we have some errands to run, you get? So that you just go and don't fail your friend, maybe with somewhere like in Naivasha or in Nakuru or anywhere else. So we just say like, we better lie, like tell the boss maybe you are sick, we won't be there, we won't be available ourselves. But we know in the reality that we are just going to a party. And so it never depends like if it's a weekday or a weekend.
Wow. And maybe if I may ask, like after you receiving Christ, did you drop these friends or they are still your friends?
Actually, others are still my friends and others I dropped them. Yeah.
What made you drop some and some they are still your friends? Like they were both your friends?
Yes, they were both my friends, but the time I received Christ, I tried to show them the Christocentric way, like this is the life we need to be. And those who said yes to me, those are still, for now, are my friends. But those who said no, then I left them off.
Oh, so do you mean like some of the friends that you're still having, like they also received Christ?
Exactly.
Were you the one who at least brought them to the light, like to at least see the light, or maybe they just found themselves like also receiving Christ but in a different?
Okay, I can say that some of them who are my friends, some of them I told them and they said, Pamela, if you are the one who has told us and you have changed, actually we can see you have changed, then I think it's a good thing for us to be the same like you. And others, actually Christ revealed themselves to them by himself, not by me. Yeah. So
to be precise, you're trying to say like when you receive Christ, there's a part of you that changes, that even those that are in the world, like they are doing earthly things, they do admire the you that you've changed.
Exactly.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so amazing. So To our viewers, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and don't forget to also ask the few questions that you have. So, to you back, Pamela,
Yes.
like, maybe who is this one person, or who are these people that maybe keeps you going on, like, in this Christocentric nature?
Like my mentor, or
Yeah, like maybe is there anything that keeps you going, like that reminds you, like, no, Pamela, you know what, even if this is happening, or even if this is the point that I am in right now, like, I have to move on, like, I have to hold my faith.
exactly, I can say Christ Himself is the reason why I'm still pushing, because the desire of my heart is to know Him more and to reach this promise of everlasting life. That's what I want.
And maybe is there someone that you've been looking up to, like, for this far, like, on how to at least know this Christ more, or is there a way that you are using so that you can know Him more?
Okay, knowing Christ, I can say, is through the word and prayer. And I thank God for my mentor. I can say my mentor, my dad, that is Bishop Chunge. He has been the best mentor in me. Yeah.
So, how has it been, like, since you received Christ? Have you been regularly attending these services, or has it just been that norm, like, I'll just go on Sunday, attend the service, listen to the preachings, and then at least go home?
Actually, every time I got a time to attend the service, I've been here. I've been in the church. Like, the service in our church is from Monday to Monday. We don't have a day to worship because we worship a day, and a day is Christ. So we worship Christ every moment, every time, every day. And every time, like, maybe I'm far away from work, I'm just free, I just took that time to go to the church and worship my God. Yeah.
Wow, I've learned something. To our viewers, I think you've also learned something, that a day is a person who is Christ.
Exactly.
So, for those who've been trying to ask some questions that, oh, we have to go on to worship on Sunday, on Saturday, at least you got the answer to it, you know? Like, at least we've learned something.
Exactly.
Wow,
We
that's
worship
amazing.
God, we worship Christ, and Christ is our day.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
good. And maybe if you may at least tell us, maybe who would be interested to at least join you where you worship, like, where is it located?
Actually, my church where I worship is in Kiganjo, Thika Kiganjo, that is corner 1. And it's called Christ Favor Church, being ministered by Bishop Ken Chunge. Yeah.
Oh,
All
that-
you are welcome. We do worship here every moment, every day, every time. Yeah.
wow, that's good. And maybe if I may ask you, Pamela,
Yeah.
like, do you serve in church?
Yeah, I do serve in church. Actually, I am in a media team, and yeah, that is it, you can say for now.
And is there maybe any way that maybe if you want to serve in church, maybe is there any directions, like maybe qualifications that you have to have so that you can serve maybe under media department or other departments?
I can say that the qualification is Christ, because when you have Christ, you just really, I can say He will locate you where you need to be serving. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, I see so many questions coming in, and people are very curious, very curious. But then let's get to that later. And maybe just a question from me personally
Uh-huh.
to you, so For how long have you been in this salvation? Since you said since 20?
Yeah, since 2020, I can say January. Yeah.
2020 January.
Salvation 2022 January.
2022
Yeah.
January.
Exactly.
And maybe if you try to at least look back, like since you got saved on January 2022 until now, like is there a step that you've always looked back and at least said like, it's worth it?
Yeah, I can say it's worth it because I can say before receiving Christ, yes, I had all material things that I wanted, but I never had peace. But since I received Christ, actually, I can say I'm the peacefulest person ever. Actually, I got his peace, I received his peace, and I am always thankful for that peace. And also, I can tell like my viewers, like receiving Christ doesn't mean that you need to, like, you'll be rich in the moment, or maybe it will make you maybe fat, or I can say slim, or whatever you want, like fleshly things. But receiving Christ will make your life eternally, peacefully, eternally. Yeah.
And maybe if I may ask also, like after you receiving Christ, is there any point like or any challenge that maybe there are some things that you are doing perfectly, but right now like you can't do them perfectly, or maybe you dropped in some areas, like maybe let's use this example, that maybe at that point you are working somewhere, but you working there wasn't that godly, but then you decided to go to a godly place so that you can work there. But you compare that maybe the salary that you're getting right now is maybe not that much convincing, or it's not that much as compared to the previous place that you are working before. Has that maybe given you a second thought, like, no, you know what, I need money at least to also fund my younger siblings that you are funding right now, to go back to that life? Has it ever crossed your mind? Like, has it convinced you in some way?
I can say not really, because for me, I can remember there was a time I was working in Thika, I can say in Thika, but somehow far in Kenyatta Road. And that time, actually, it was a very good place I was working. And the only thing that made me shift from that place is only because of time of worshiping. Because I used to see like one day in the presence of God, it's not enough for me. It was a well-paying job, and I had a very good relationship with my boss. And for just that day, one day of worshiping made me say no for that, and I resigned so that I can go somewhere else that I could get in a lot of time to be in the presence of my Father. Yeah.
But didn't it ever cross your mind that maybe you can go talk to your boss, because you said like the boss was so friendly? You would have approached the boss and at least try to talk to the boss that to at least give you that time.
Actually, I can say the boss was so friendly. He's still my friend until now. But you know, work is work, and everyone like he just wants I can say he hopes for the best from him. Okay, when you are working, he hopes for the best, and I can't say that a boss can limit his work so that you can get time. The only thing he can say that I will limit your time so that you can work, most of them. And convincing someone like that, it is not that easy. And the good thing is that maybe God has a reason why you need to shift from that place to another safe place so that you can get the good, like I say, a good moment to worship. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So I think I'll just go through these questions and then we'll see like how long can we take and how we can answer them. So there's someone here, this Ezron Ngaki asking here that at that point that you are dropping out of school to go look for fees, like did it not ever run into your mind that maybe, hey, I'm a lady and you know what, because of trying to do a lot of things I could go and at least get married? But for now, let's have a short break and then we are getting back to that question and many more questions that are coming in.
It's a choice. Shall we read? But remember the Lord, your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce, to bring your business down. It will never come down. Hallelujah. They may think that they have brought it down, it has remained only 10,000, but with the 10,000 you will rise again. Kama ni wa university anasema hatutapata exam card kama tujakilia. Now you are a man. So kama hujafika hapo, you are not man. We can all be men, but we are not all men.
Welcome back to our program, The Dialogue. These questions are so so amazing. So there's Noreen Amunga asking, like, did your friends, like the ones that maybe you are still with them in Form 2, when you are going back to at least look for fee, like did they not demoralize you, like, Pamela, you know what, we are like, we've gone too far in the syllabus, and maybe that those reactions really affected you, demoralized you, you thought of maybe leaving school?
Actually, some of them did, and the only thing that I used to do is to, I can say, to hide myself from them. It reaches a time that when I saw them, when I see them, I just hide myself. Maybe I go back to the hotel, hide myself until they do pass. Yeah.
And previously, Hezbon Geki had asked, like, oh, did you not thought of getting married? Like, you are a lady, you are still young, and maybe you had that mind that, no, I can't do this, I'll just go get married to someone. Maybe, did you not thought of marriage?
Actually, in Form 5 I was just 15 years old, so even knowing things of getting married, no, I never thought of it.
But you know, marriage has no age. Like, there are people who are getting even marriage at age 12.
Okay, I think I can say, apart from my age, I had this mentality that someone who is somehow grown up is the one who is suitable in marriage. And apart from that, again, I used to see my background and all the things that I wanted to do. It would just be like diminishing myself getting married that time.
Wow. And I see here Dennis is asking, like, do you love your parents?
Yeah, I do love, actually they're my second God. I do love them more and more. Yeah.
And Douglas is asking, like, who is your role model?
My role model, my mom.
So she's the one that everything that she does, like, you just admire, like.
Actually, I do admire everything from my mom. How she's good, kind-hearted, hardworking. Yeah.
And Mr. Robert is asking, like, do you not think of at least going and at least get that closer relationship like with your dad?
Okay, I can say me going back home because of that closure only, I still have a doubt of it, and I can say maybe if I rethink it, I could do it, but for now, no.
And maybe if I may ask a question out of that, me personally,
Yeah.
like you received Christ, and in
Exactly.
Christ there's always that mercy, grace, and forgiveness.
Exactly.
Like, what's that hindering you, like, from at least making that step?
I can't say that I have any. I can say, what should I say? I haven't carried my dad in my heart. Actually, I'm free from him, and the only thing that I can say is that I'm still giving time so that he can say that he acknowledges his mistakes and come back to his senses.
Oh, so Sister Esther here is asking, like, have you ever witnessed a rape case?
As I myself, or
Maybe it was on you, or maybe a friend.
okay, I myself, raping case is a no, because I've never experienced that, I have never witnessed that. But of a friend, yes, I had a school friend, and she was raped. That was on, I think, when we were in Form 4. Yeah.
And maybe if Esther is asking this because maybe it's something that happened to her, like, what would you love to at least tell her?
It's so hard, actually, especially if we are ready to accept the situation, because that stigmatization and that guiltiness. Apart from that, the environment you are in, so not all people like will understand. Many of them will be judging, maybe calling you names, But I can say the only thing that you need to know is that be you, be real. It wasn't your mistake. And maybe be just like, I can say, be what you want to be. Let it not hinder you of what you want to be. Like, just move on with that.
And maybe if I may ask a question concerning the same, like, what if it happens, like, maybe someone gets in such an incident, and maybe at that time has received Christ, like,
I can say the only things that you need to do is just forgive the person, because you can't change the situation, actually. Like, just do the forgiveness and accept it has happened, and from that, just I can say God will guide you to the steps to know to do apart from that. Yeah.
Brother John is asking, like, have you ever been demoralized, like maybe peer pressure from maybe workmates, like maybe the step they've made is so much huge than the step that you've made?
I can say I did encounter peer pressure. Just that it was the time I started working, actually, because I was just a boom teacher and my salary was low, and the others, they got the salary, what we called a big salary, and they were like, Pam, what are you doing here? Can't you just see you are wasting yourself? Just park, you get? And actually I gave in, and I think that was the reason why I shifted from my first working place to Nanyuki. And on that place again, it followed me there, because I can say it reaches a time I see that this salary, no, and then my friends were like having big salaries, using the money the way they wanted. We were like that, having caught like spend money so that money accepts you. And wakati you see that you want to spend that money, you find yourself you have no that money. So actually I can say peer pressure is real, and the only thing is that you need to just have a confidence in yourself. And the time you have confidence in yourself, you say like, let me treat myself the way myself wanted to be treated. like just you can say you just create your own version and live according to your own life. Yeah.
So Stella is asking, let's assume you given two options. One, you have a 50 million deal, and another one is serving in church and staying in church. Like, what will you go for?
50 million deal
Yes.
and serving in church. Okay, it will depend. You can still be serving church and having the same deal in one time.
So you're trying to say like you can still serve, but during that service you can
Yeah,
gain
you
a lot.
can still be working and still serving the same place. Yeah.
But here it's serving, purely serving, that is your work to serve.
My work, okay, is it according to me or am I forced? So if it's according to me and this is what I want, then I'll choose serving God in that way.
Wow. I'm even amazed. Like, what will I say? Anyway, there's a question here. Like, someone is asking, are you in a relationship?
With God, yes. And which relationship are you talking about? If I'm not wrong.
She hasn't specified. So I think for me, I would try to specify, like, are you in a relationship, like married? You have a spouse?
No, that's a no. Yeah.
Are you considering to have one soon?
Not really.
In future?
Maybe.
Oh. So I think those are some of the questions that are relevant to our topic, to Pamela's testimony, and I would love to remind you to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to at least invite someone so that he or she can at least join us in our next dialogue. So I'd love to at least give you this time and ask you to at least talk, say something to your siblings, your mom, your dad.
Okay, I can say wherever you are, my mom, I love you so much, and my dad, wherever you are, just know you have a daughter somewhere, and I do appreciate in everything that you have done unto me and whatever you're still doing unto me. And my siblings, just know that you have a big sister somewhere. I love you so much, my brother. I do love you a lot, and just know, actually, live your life according to the nature of Christ. Accept Christ as your own, and everything you do, just to do according to the will of Him. Yeah.
And your dad?
Actually, I'm saying my dad, wherever you are, just know you have a daughter somewhere, and I can say I'm so proud to where I am now. It's all because of you, actually, because sometimes I do tell myself that if it's not of the things that maybe you did to me, or maybe the situation I went through, it could not be the same Pamela I'm talking now. Yeah, thank you so much for everything that you did to me, and what you are thinking of me. I just say thank you.
And one last thing to tell our viewers.
I can say to my viewers that thank you for watching, and I would like to tell you that in Christ there is life, there is everything that we need, and being Christ will make you, knowing Christ will make you to know yourself, and will make you to know who you want, what you want, and who you are. And having Christ in you is the hope of everything that you need. He is our hope, He is our faith, He is our everything. Yeah.
Maybe that one verse to at least encourage someone today outside there.
Okay, I can say the verse, it's like in the book of Romans. Romans 8:28, it says that Christ himself is making intercession unto us with groanings, because he teaches us how to pray. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and till next time. God bless you.